What is up, homies? Welcome back to another Jackson's podcast from Heroes Reforged.
Oh, yeah. It's good to be back.
What's happening right now? Okay.
Good to see you both.
Smooches all around, boys. Smooches all
Let me
around.
get one of these right
You
here.
son of a bitch.
There you go. There you go. All right. There you go. That's good.
Next time you see your bros, do that.
Smooch them.
And
Smooch
they'll
your
be like,
bros.
what are you doing?
See how they respond.
Yeah.
And if they're real bros, they'll do exactly
They'll
what Adam
smooch
did.
you back.
They'll smooch you back.
What's up? I'm so excited to just like talk about Celebration. I'm excited to just answer some Patreon questions. We got some amazing ones from our audience.
Yep.
Speaking of Patreon, we've been adding a ton of patrons recently, which is really cool.
you.
Thank you guys so
joining.
much. We've added like 30 in 3 days.
Yeah, it's good.
It's crazy.
It's good. It's good.
One thing that we did change that Augustine suggested. So Patreon usually will bill you at the first of every month. And we noticed that there was like a lot of drop off happening because I think a lot of people at the beginning of the month just have a lot of bills.
Yeah.
Rent, utilities, car payments, insurance, all kinds of stuff.
Which you should be prioritizing, by
Which
the way.
you should be prioritizing,
Yes.
of course, absolutely. With the new billing system, if you sign up on the 15th, you'll be billed on the 15th of every month.
Just like
It
every
doesn't
other
go to the
subscription
first.
service.
Yeah.
So if you kind of want to like offset some sort of like monthly payment,
Right.
now you have the option on Patreon
cool.
to do so.
Yeah.
So I think it'll help a lot of our audience members sort of figure out like, okay, if I have all this stuff due on the 1st, but then I have a little extra cashola on the 15th, then I can put it towards the homies.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
so I think
Cool.
that'll
That's
be
the
a nice
advantage.
change. Yeah, I think that'll be a nice change, and I think hopefully for us it means that we'll see less drop off, and we'll see more people being like, oh, this is cool. I don't have to like
Yeah.
be married to the
Yeah.
first of every month.
And hopefully we're going to see more people thanking us for their financial stability.
That's right. That's right. Because
we're helping-
contributing to your financial stability.
We're putting you on a path.
That's right.
You're helping
To
us
success.
to help you.
Helping
us help you.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about. I mean, we are always talking about Patreon, of course, but we've been doing so many shows this year already, and there's so much stuff that's on Patreon that some of it is on YouTube, some of it is not on YouTube. We've been adding so many more movies, watch-alongs, and stuff
Yeah.
like that too, which have been super, super fun. So I think I feel like this year, I like the fact that we've diversified from not just watching Marvel, DC, Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
And we're also like watching other things like Arcane. We watched RRR. We watched so many different things. And now we're putting movies in there too. So I feel like every week when we're doing stuff, it feels like we're doing enough variants other than just we're only doing the most current Marvel show, which is still fun. But sometimes I'm like, I wish we could watch something else.
And I think with the Disney folks slowing down a little bit,
Yeah.
we were like, cool, this is going to give us opportunities to do
Other things.
The Last
Yeah.
of Us,
Yeah.
which we watched. We are going to start Star Trek
Yeah.
here pretty soon, which
Yeah.
I'm
Still got to do Game of Thrones.
very
or
excited about.
House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon, Game
Right,
of Thrones.
right.
And then on the movie side, I mean, it's still Marvel, but we just did the first Spider-Verse film. And we just watched the first Indiana Jones movie, which was
Yeah.
so fun.
Such a good
And I
So
guess
fun.
it's technically Disney still, but
No,
it's
it
just,
is, yeah.
it's just like a new thing.
Formerly Paramount.
It still says
thing.
Paramount on it, so
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah,
count it as a
yeah.
Paramount picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Patreon's one of those things that like it's kind of a big deal for us because it's how we're able to continue doing this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So whenever we see numbers going up, obviously it's exciting because yes, we're bringing in revenue, but more importantly, it's like, okay, cool. We can continue doing this. We can justify continuing to do this.
Yeah.
Because we're always like trying to find ways of like, well, how can we like offset some of the revenue so it's not just dependent on our audience? And so we're always working on sponsorships and trying to figure out other ways to bring in revenue and stuff. And some of that stuff, there'll be chunks in the year where it's like really, really prosperous and successful, and other months where it's just kind of like silence. And we're like, well, at least we like still, at least our audience loves us enough that they will support us, that we can continue doing what we're doing. Especially a lot of the trailer reactions we did in the last week, a lot of them were copyright striked.
Yeah.
Copyright claimed.
Yeah, that really hurts. But also at the same time, it's nice to know that we have an audience that sticks around. No matter
exactly.
What.
No matter
And
what.
It's awesome.
I can't imagine the Marvel's trailer being any better
Without
did
Beastie
it
Boys.
not have the Beastie Boys
Yeah.
in it. I'm like, that was the best call on their
Yeah,
part. So
right.
I'm not mad at that. I'm
No,
like,
not
you
at
do
all.
that.
Not at all.
We just can't make
Yeah.
any pennies from it.
I
That's
will-
fine. That's fine.
I'm happy that money is going towards whatever Beastie Boys fund, estate,
Right.
anything, whatever they claim, take it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's for the
it's fine.
Beasties.
Yeah, that's for the Beastie Boys.
That goes to the Beasties.
R.I.P. Adam.
Yeah. Oh my God. Did you guys ever see Beastie Boys in concert?
No.
They are a bucket list concert for me.
I did.
Or were
I saw
a
them.
bucket list concert.
I
for
saw
me.
them live,
Yeah.
man. I
You're
saw
so
Really?
lucky.
I saw them. I'm trying to remember what year. I want to say like 2005.
Where'd you see them? Give me all the
San
deets.
Diego, I'm pretty sure. And I know it was on September 11th of like 2005 or 2006. I was like, maybe.
mentioned it?
Yeah, because they have a song where they mentioned September 11th. And then they were like, on September 11th. And then they, New Yorkers, they would be New Yorkers. And I remember the best part of the concert was during the moment in Intergalactic where they go, drop. They were like makes a beat, and then everything shut down, and it was black on the stage, no lights, and everyone was like freaking out. They're like, "Oh man!" The audience was going crazy, and then like in the arena, I forget where in San Diego it was. It's probably whatever the most common concert venue was. Just like it felt like just an eternity went by. It's probably like 8 minutes.
Oh, really? Like
that
that
is a
long?
long time.
Out of the corner side thing, it opened up, and then the lights hit.
Yeah.
Drop and they
my
they
God.
moved
That's
behind,
amazing.
and everyone was like, "Holy shit!" It was so
cool.
great. So I got to go see the Beastie Boys. It was right
that's
when their most recent album at the time was To the Five Boroughs. Which is a great album. I love that album.
That was mid 2000s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Because I remember that. I remember that video being a big deal because they had all the celebrities in that video. Elijah Wood was in it. What's his name? Seth Rogen was in it. Like so many people that they're cool with.
Yeah.
I think Will Ferrell was in that video. Like
was that To the Five Boroughs or was that something that came later? Oh my God.
That was their first single off of To the Five Boroughs, I think. Yeah. Because I remember it being a big deal because they had all these people who I know love hip hop that are celebrities.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, oh, that's so dope that they're finally like collaborating in some big way.
Yeah.
So when I said I love the Beastie Boys, I'm like, no, I love the Beastie Boys.
Yeah,
They're
Beastie
one
Boys
of my
is-
all time.
So I kind of stopped going to concerts because all my bands I've either seen or don't exist anymore. So like Daft Punk.
Doesn't
Number one
exist
anymore.
bucket list
Yeah.
band doesn't exist,
You
and
never
they
saw
only
them
did
in
like
concert? Oh,
they only
man.
did like 3 shows ever.
Yeah.
Like it's
Coachella.
if you didn't catch them in the
Yeah.
90s when they were doing those shows in like in random raves
Yeah.
everywhere.
when their music wasn't that
Slim
great.
pickings.
No, their
In the
music
90s.
was incredible. I love my favorite
In the-
era
really?
is the 90s.
What?
Of Daft Punk?
Oh, I
100%.
think all their music. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Bro,
love all of their stuff.
Discovery, bro.
Homework.
That
No,
was like
Homework, bro.
2000.
Homework is the best album they've put out. Are you kidding me?
Discovery, bro.
Hey, that's a good album.
Thank you.
But Homework was the album that broke them into every single industry that they were into.
But
people saw the genius.
Discovery led to the anime.
Sure.
Discovery put them in a place of like, these are our personas. We have like a visual aspect to our music.
That's when the robots were created.
That's when the robots were with Discovery.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
But they were that before that.
All right.
Hardcore fans will understand that
Adam,
Homework is the best album.
Break this tie. Which album's better?
He likes all of them, he said.
I like all of them.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I really like. I could pick anything.
Which one between Homework or Discovery? What would you rather do? Do your homework, or would you rather go on a Discovery?
Oh my God! I'll just say Tron Legacy.
There you go. Tron
You know
Legacy.
what?
Because that
Fair.
one
All
broke
right.
them
Good
into
point.
into cinema.
Good point.
And I really hope they actually come back as
Me
their
too.
normal selves and just score every movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
that'd
for
be
whatever
cool.
that new Tron thing is going to be, right? With Jared Leto.
Ugh.
They better
There's
get
a new
that
Tron
one.
movie?
They're doing a new one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's going to be
Yeah.
Tron:
Well, I hope
Cult Leader.
I hope Thomas comes back.
Cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or somebody.
Boof.
Yeah.
Boof.
Score that
Yeah.
movie. That just got
Uh-huh.
real depressing. Anyways,
it's going to
Yeah.
be Tron.
do you have a bucket list band that
Pet Rat.
maybe you will never see, or well, it's Led Zeppelin, right?
Yeah, it's
I
Led
think we've
Zeppelin.
talked
Oh, yeah.
about this
It's
one
Led
before.
Zeppelin.
Yeah, I think Led Zeppelin is one of my bucket lists
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Led Zeppelin for sure. Linkin Park. I don't know if they'll ever play again.
But didn't you see them perform?
I have.
He's seen them like
There you
1,000 times.
Yeah,
I've seen them
I
like
was
6 times.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I
they
would say.
might perform again.
Yeah, they might. They might
Yeah.
with like a guest or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. That would be so weird, though. I don't even know. But I would say Led Zeppelin is probably number one.
Yeah, absolutely.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
My other number one is the Wiggles. Oh my god! But they're not together anymore.
Are you kidding me? Yo Gabba Gabba live?
That would actually be sick.
Oh my
Tenacious D, like no joke.
Tenacious D is another. We gotta go. Like if they play anytime soon, I would love to see Tenacious D with Dave Grohl on the drums. Like that's the best way that I want to see.
Amazing.
But I don't think he plays with them anymore.
Only if Jack Black performs Peaches from the new Mario movie.
Have you seen his campaign recently?
Yeah.
He's been like, so he put out this TikTok, which was like, this crazy, like almost like an Oscar bid. He's like, in 2023, there will be 4 artists that define music and that you'll think of when you think of music. And he's like, the first one, Bowser. The second one, Bowser.
Oh my God.
The third artist, Bowser. And he's like, the fourth one, probably Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh my God.
It's so good. And then he goes
so
on like
funny.
this whole crazy thing explaining the Peaches song and just like it's
oh God, I need to
it's
look
great.
at that.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
watched the new episode of, or not the new one, but the one previous of The Mandalorian with Jack Black.
Right.
Watch it with my girlfriend. And she, of course, when those characters popped up, JB and Lizzo, she was like, what?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah.
And after the episode was over, she goes, it was crazy that they were in that episode. She goes, I don't know how I feel about it in terms of, does it take you out of the Star Wars experience?
Right.
And then I just pulled up Lizzo's TikTok where it's like, she's like, I'm going to my husband. My
and they're all dancing.
My husband. And I just showed that to Abby and I was like, it was all worth it for this.
Just
I'm
for
like,
that.
This is the greatest
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah.
And she goes,
Yeah.
that's pretty
It's
great.
It's pretty awesome. Wait, so you saw Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah, I watched
Adam
the
and
movie.
I have not seen it.
Not yet.
I liked it.
Okay.
First of all,
initial non-spoiler.
Compared to the initial non-spoiler, compared to the original live-action Mario movie.
Oh my God.
Sorry, DJ Wooldridge, calling you out. Sorry, bro. Compared to that hot mess, which is on the Patreon, we have a version and coming to YouTube soon. Coming to YouTube. This movie's a 10 out of 10 compared to
that movie. Every movie's a 10 out of 10.
Realistically, the movie, if I'm going letterboxd ratings, realistically, it's probably a 2 out of 5. I'm giving it a 3. You know why?
Okay.
Because I love Mario.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Donkey Kong's in the movie. Because they have Mario Karts.
Yeah.
Because Princess Peach is in the movie. Luigi's in the movie. Turns out I love those characters. And the score, which is by Brian Tyler, who has done a ton of Fast and Furious movies and a bunch of other stuff, weaves in a bunch of like classic Mario Nintendo themes that I was just sitting there going, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that works. And I was like, dang, man, they got me.
Yeah.
And there's enough of that. And like Charles Martinet, who voices Mario in the video games, voices in the movie Mario's dad, like Mario and Luigi's dad. And he doesn't do like a Mario accent. He just kind of like
does his own
a
voice,
straightforward like a voice acting performance. And to see his name in the credits as Mario's dad, I was like, that's fantastic.
I mean, he kind of is Mario's dad.
He is. And
He is, yeah, right.
And I think he also voiced another character who, like, at one point they meet this, they talk to this character, and he's like, he goes, wahoo! And I'm like, that's Charles Martinet.
Cool.
Like, that's Mario doing that kind of, So the movie's full of stuff like that, and I think it's a very like sweet kids movie, and it's really fun and colorful, and the 3D was pretty great.
Pizza Chef.
We just rewatched the first Spider-Verse tonight.
Yeah.
You guys, the movie doesn't even touch. Like, I'm like, of course, it doesn't come close.
Touches. Spider-Verse is the exact opposite of Super Mario Brothers in the 90s.
Oh my God.
Yes,
it's the exact
but the
polar
new one,
opposite.
The new movie is very like bouncy and colorful and fun and joyful and there's a couple
That's what
moments.
you want from a Mario
That's
movie.
it. Would I have done different things? Yeah. And part of it, was a little bittersweet for me watching it because I think I probably talked to you guys about this before, but like, I've had a vision for a live action Mario movie, honestly starring Jack Black or someone like that since I was 12 years old. And watching this animated movie, they've kind of done so many things that I would have done in a live action thing that I'm kind of like, this is cool that this is in it, but it almost kind of kills any opportunity for them to try to redo this again or do a Mario live action adventure, movie.
I'm okay with that.
Which I am okay with it.
I'm okay with that.
It's in the same way I was a little bit like disappointed that the first time we got live action Pokemon was the Detective Pikachu movie, which I didn't love because I was kind of like, damn, man, they got a bunch of great designs in this. They got a bunch of cool looking. There's a live action Charizard, CG character, which I thought looked great. Yeah. And it's in this movie that I don't love. Now the Mario movie does a bunch of stuff that it was just bittersweet because I'm like, that's what I would have done to do like a movie version of the whole Mario thing. That I'm going, if they ever try to do this in live action, you kind of can't do any of this. But then again, it's like we were saying earlier, like the Spider-Verse animated film could not have been the first Spider-Man movie. You would need to do certain things for it to be the, for a first Spider-Man movie, you really have to kind of do the origin. You have to kind of tell audiences what Spider-Man is. With great power comes great responsibility. So who knows? Maybe they'll do the inverse of that, where if they ever try to attempt a live action Mario, it'll be different enough from the animated thing that we already got that feels very much like from the video games, that it might be cool and be its own thing, but not its own thing like the 90s live action. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
You know what? Forget I said anything. We never need a live action Mario.
No, we never need. We just never need another live action Mario.
Here's what I want to talk about: Star Wars Celebration.
No, wait, really quick. We haven't done reviews for other movies that we've seen we said we were gonna do.
Go for it.
Shazam.
We
all saw Shazam.
We did.
That's it. That's our review.
I liked it more than you two.
Apparently, because you said you liked it more than the first one.
I did.
I absolutely did not.
Yeah,
I absolutely did.
I don't agree with that.
Better use of Jaimin Hansu. You can't argue with that. It's a better use
but
of
that doesn't
Jaimin
make the
Hansu.
movie better.
I don't think that makes the movie better.
I mean, well, in some ways it does.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think the reason, for me, I think the reason why I
Look
did
at me
not
when
like
you
this
insult
movie.
me. Look at me when you insult me.
You know why I fucking hated this movie? No, I think the thing that doesn't work for me for this movie is it loses a lot of like the charm and sort of like the playfulness that was present in the first movie.
Yeah.
And also just like the logic in the story and the editing is like things would just happen and I'm like, I'm not connecting with anything that's going on. Like what is why is Rachel Zegler in high school? Like what the fuck is the point if she's like just because she's a kid? Like I don't know.
No, what was it? It's because she was trying to get to the kids who they knew they were the Shazam family, right?
See how unclear it is?
Literally, I fell asleep twice
He did.
in the movie.
I had popcorn.
How late y'all go?
It was like
We went in the
4.
midday.
Oh boy.
There was I had popcorn
Yeah.
and I
Dang.
was like this
I
and
was
no
out,
response and I was like I looked and he's
I was out. I didn't miss anything.
I think the visuals, some of the visual effects looked really good.
Sure.
It looked better than the first movie because they had more money. I thought the suits looked cooler.
That is true.
Yeah.
But,
That is true.
But in terms of the story and the characters, I was just like
Here's my
Darla-
biggest.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
I was just gonna say, like, character like Darla, who was so like charming and
Yeah.
funny and fun in the first movie. I'm like, man, because these kids have been aging so fast.
Yes.
She's now at this point, age wise, where
She's
I'm
not
like,
cute anymore. It's gross.
No, it's not that. It's not that. No.
She, like the way that they write her,
Right.
now she's coming off as someone who's dumb.
Yes.
Instead of
I see.
quirky.
I'll tell you something else too, and I feel like the discussion happened because people went to go see this new movie, but I think that the discussion could also apply to the first movie is this casting of Zachary Levi and how he plays Billy versus the kid
Asher
who plays
Angel.
Asher Angel.
Bingo.
Angel, they're not on the same page.
They're
No,
not.
not
And
at
I
all.
saw the
They're
internet
not.
talk about that, and I go, "That's fair." Now, I like what each of them are doing.
I don't like what
separately.
Zachary Levi's doing. I think it's disrespectful to children.
But here's the deal. If I'm giving him too much credit. If I'm giving him too much credit, I'm giving him too much credit. But if the Billy Batson character was played by a 12-year-old kid, Zachary Levi would be nailing it.
Right,
But
absolutely.
it's like, dude,
But he's
he's
not
not
doing
12.
that.
Asher
Yeah.
Angel's like
Right.
16, 17, 18
Yeah.
now.
No, and also maybe I'm not giving enough credit to Asher Angel, who's like doing the performance he's doing, but I'm like, hey man, it's also the directing, but it's like, and you're a young actor and it's not up to you. Like Zachary should be adjusting to how you are.
Right.
But also like Zachary Levi is so broad that I'm like, you could play it a little broader. Kid.
Yeah.
You could, you could get a little goofier with it
Yeah.
because he's so
Yeah.
like reserved when he's Billy.
Straight,
And I'm
yeah.
like, look how goof-ass his Billy Batson is, So anyway,
Yeah.
it's totally fair that I still don't think it's like great, but I did enjoy it more than the first one. And we just rewatched the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's
you know.
what really did it for me. We rewatched it. I went, oh, I really like this.
Great.
And then at the end of the
Great.
second movie, I went like,
Yeah.
oh man, I didn't have as much fun.
I
That's
didn't
fine.
I didn't have fun with this movie, and that was my main issue. Is like,
Yeah.
at first I was like, okay, these adults are playing parodies of children. Zachary Levi is doing a
I see.
parody of what he thinks a kid is. He's doing adult brained kid because a kid would not act like that. I don't know if he's like observed children. Like, did he observe the kid who, even another child who was around the same age that he was supposed to be playing, right? Like,
I know.
Teenagers don't act like that.
Because even in the first movie, there's a little bit of a disconnect, but it still feels a little closer than in this movie.
I could see that.
I think it feels that way because he's excited about being Shazam for the first time, right? Like,
I could see that.
That comes through in the first movie, and I'm just like, cool, this works. You're happy. I get it. Everything is brand new. You're a little goofy because you don't understand your powers and everything. But at this point, everything's kind of set. They even have like a team plan to when they're going to go save people, right? And it's just like, okay, they've been working together for a while. You should kind of have a hang of like what you're doing.
I get
and
that.
not play with your powers and just like smash stuff and like, all that.
I did like seeing the Shazamily save a bunch of people on that bridge. Like there was some stuff in that sequence. I was like, this is great.
Another thing with that is just like, okay, cool. You guys are a team. But when they were saving people, they didn't act like a team.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like, where's the team element,
and
right?
is it because you're trying to tell me that, like, they're kids and young people are,
Exactly.
which is one thing, but all that stuff could have been hit harder.
I agree. I agree that it could have been done so much better.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this movie was kind of like an afterthought after the whole Black Adam debacle kind of thing, because Zachary Levi even came out on social media. He was like, "Dude,
so weird.
Our hands were tied.
So
I
weird.
tried to do stuff."
Because you could almost tell it's like after the Black Adam movie, okay, Shazam 2 should be Black Adam versus Shazam,
Right. Yeah.
and that would have been probably a better.
That probably would have been much
choice,
better. Yeah,
right.
But instead, they had to like Mickey Mouse this crazy three villains that don't really make sense kind of situation.
Not the strongest. I love
also,
Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren. And Rachel Zegler. Not the
Lucy
strongest,
Liu, like I love Lucy Liu, but so forgettable in this role. Like I think all three villains were just so forgettable as villains.
The writing don't. The writing
don't write.
The
writing don't write.
Yeah. I know.
But anyways,
okay. What else?
There's very little for me to redeem about that movie, so I don't want to harp on it too much. We saw Creed 3.
Oh, very nice.
Did we talk about Creed 3?
I don't know. A while ago.
You talk about Creed 3.
You guys liked it less than Creed 1 and 2.
I think.
Did you say you liked it more than Creed 2?
No.
And
I think it goes 1, 2, 3. I think it goes 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I go 1, 3, 2.
Give us the rationale.
Well, I thought that the Dame character was essentially a more interesting antagonist for Adonis than the son of Drago. And I really like the son of Drago in Creed 2, but I know people have said like Creed 2 also feels like it's Rocky 4 Part 2.
Yeah, it does.
And that's cool, but I really appreciated the singular focus. Right? And dude, Jonathan Majors, what the hell? We haven't talked about that either. That shit sucks.
That sucks for him.
And then these like texts were released where the lawyer was like, see, he's fine. And it's like, my dude,
no, that's incriminating, bro.
Make him look worse.
Yeah.
Oof, sucks.
We'll talk about that later.
I mean, we don't really have
let's
to.
Let's focus on the movie.
But it just, I mean, I thought his performance was really great.
Yeah.
And
I don't have issues with like the performance.
Sure.
So for me, the reason why I watch Rocky,
and you guys still liked Creed 3.
Yeah.
You just didn't like it as much as Creed 1, 2.
So just because it's my third one doesn't mean it's bad.
It's like Creed and then 2, 3.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Because I can't both rank them at 2.
It's a strong trilogy. Yeah.
The only thing that I was missing is that I didn't have that pump up moment, like that training montage moment where I felt so inspired that I could run 12 miles without stopping in this movie.
And honestly, like, I miss Sylvester Stallone,
and I miss Sylvester.
I miss Sylvester Stallone
as much as like he doesn't want to be a part of it or whatever.
Like Duke Jr. is great, great actor, but like with the way that the story starts and to get to this point, especially because this movie is so personal, and I feel like the story between Rocky and Apollo and all the characters that he's encountered, especially Apollo and Adonis, that is so personal.
Right.
So I feel like it would have been nice to have him in his corner to deal with something that is so close to home.
Yeah.
Where in Creed 2, he doesn't really have anything to do with Victor Drago. Only in the sense that like his father killed his dad, yes.
Right.
But that's still something that I feel like was very much between Rocky and Ivan Drago.
Ivan Drago.
And that came
And the
across.
kids were kind of in the middle of it.
Yeah.
The first one, I think the villains are maybe, no, I don't want to say the least memorable, but it's
Not as important.
The stakes are not as personal because it's about Rocky and Adonis's relationship.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I think that's the thing.
center
That's
of the
what
movie.
was missing for me. But I think as a director, for that to be your feature debut, the fights
yeah.
were
Oh,
shot
yeah.
so
Yeah.
well. Like
Michael B.
so many
Michael
great
B,
things in that movie.
I was
yeah.
impressed by his debut. Like,
Totally.
I
And you know
couldn't
what-
have done any better. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
We were just talking about anime influences into film.
Yeah.
And they were chatting that shit up like it was like we're going to see some Dragon Ball Z Speed Racer stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, Michael B., like, let's see what you got. And when I
Yeah.
watched the movie, I was like, dang, I
in
can
there.
see some of
Yeah.
that in there.
Right,
Did
right,
that-
right.
I don't want to give anything away in case people haven't seen it, but the last fight has
sequence, yeah.
And
Yeah.
the cool thing was it wasn't just stylistic just to be stylistic.
Right. Yeah.
It was like, oh, this is grounded in the emotion of these two
Yeah.
characters.
Right,
so
I think
Really good.
I think he pulled the right
Great.
elements from anime because
Yeah.
in anime you have these moments of exposition in the middle of like fast action,
right.
where you're in, and it helps the action because you're in the character's head, understanding what they're going through, and that's
right.
a very natural thing. Like us as humans, inside of our head, we have that dialogue that, like,
Yeah.
as you're doing stuff, you're thinking about it critically.
Yeah.
Where it feels like time slows down, and I like that he kind of pulled elements like that into that final
Agreed.
fight. I do feel like because the rest of the movie was so grounded, it kind of at first jolted me out of the movie. I was like, wait, like there's all kinds of stuff happening
Rocky
here.
movies don't usually do this.
Yes,
I get
exactly.
that. I get
But at
that.
the same time, knowing Michael B. Jordan wanting to take a swing with this, I was
Yeah.
like, I'll give it a shot. Like I'll
Yeah.
I'll take this. Like you gave it, you swung at it, and I feel like it was effective in this fight. I feel like he could have added a few more elements throughout the movie though to kind of connect. That whole movie,
I get
because I
that.
didn't dislike what he added. I just feel like it was such a jolt from like such a grounded, solid in reality, like with normal human world living to that was just a little jolting. But that's it.
I saw somebody online after Creed 3, they said like, all right, it's official. There are no bad Rocky or Creed movies. And I was like, I like that attitude. That's
okay.
great.
I'll take it.
Just
I'll
a
take it.
solid
Why not?
fran-
Why
just a
not?
I'm not calling it a bad
franchise.
movie at all.
Just a
Yeah.
solid
It's a good-
franchise.
It's a good triple threat.
What else
Yeah.
did you guys see? Did you guys see, what else do we need to review?
I think that maybe everything that I've seen so far.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Scream 6 was cool.
Didn't watch that
I
yet.
liked it.
Uh-huh.
I think I like Scream 5 more,
Okay.
Yeah.
which I also just rewatched for the first time. And that came out last year.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Only
either.
a year apart.
So-
But they're like, I
yeah,
like
I
them.
just got Scream from last year on 4K Blu-ray.
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among
I
Thieves.
heard that was fun.
I heard that was good.
I haven't
time.
seen
Yeah.
it yet. Okay.
Man, there's some funny shit right in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
Compare it to Willow.
The TV show, similar but different. I like that you brought that up
Okay.
because what do we like about Willow? It was
Everything.
funny,
Everything.
It
I
was
fucking
funny.
love everything about Willow.
great tone,
Yeah.
and specifically how Willow in that fantasy world can have a different tone than Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. Dungeons and Dragons is taking advantage of that too. D&D is like, we're not Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not The Hobbit. We're not, the Lord of the Rings TV show.
Right, right.
We're not Game of Thrones. We're not Harry Potter. This is what we can do with our fantasy. A little lighter, a little funnier. Directed by the people that did Game Night,
Yeah.
which I
John
love.
Oh,
Francis
Game
Daly
Night's
and
such a good
Jonathan
movie.
Goldstein.
Such a good
So
movie.
I think it's worth watching, and could probably wait till digital or whatever. But
Yeah.
funny stuff.
I'll rewatch it on digital. I
What
can
else?
wait to
Yeah.
watch all this stuff on digital if we
maybe we
want to
could
do
a
like
first time react.
first reactions for
Yeah.
Patreon.
First
I
time
could do that.
reaction. What else came out? I feel like
Cocaine
that's
Bear. I just got the
Oh,
Blu-ray.
Haven't seen
that.
that. Oh,
You haven't seen
you
it?
got the Blu-ray?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we
watching
can-
that after
we can
this
watch it.
podcast.
Okay.
Okay. okay.
I think that's it. And we
Yeah, I
watched
think that's it.
Indiana Jones review. Good. The first one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Original.
mean, go to Patreon and watch that.
There you go.
You'll
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
you'll get whatever you need from that.
Now Star Wars.
Yeah, I think the big thing that happened was Star Wars Celebration.
There you go.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
really kind of
Pretty
the big
crazy.
thing.
Yeah.
A lot
Three-
of good
three new
announcements.
movies.
Uh-huh.
Ray Skywalker's coming back.
Dawn of the New Jedi Order.
I'm so happy
Dawn
for
of the
that.
New Jedi
Yeah.
Order. We got a James Mangold Star Wars movie. This guy is going to be
The
the
Birth of
so
the
happy
Jedi.
for that.
only person to direct an Indiana Jones movie and a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
That's
And
dope.
Logan.
And an X-Men movie. And two
And
X-Men.
310 to
Yeah,
Yuma.
yeah, yeah.
Two X-Men movies and a Western.
Yeah.
We got Dave Filoni's going to direct a movie.
The New Republic movie.
It'll be the sort of culmination of all
The
of the New
Mandoverse.
Republic shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else?
Final season of The Bad Batch, season 3 will
Yeah.
be coming out. So good, so good, so good.
cool stuff happening in the publishing world. You know, they I saw some stuff from some books. There's a book coming out called Star Wars Timelines.
I want it so bad, dude.
That's my bread and butter.
Yeah,
butter it up, baby. I love that.
I guess the pre-orders like are already like gone.
Ooh, I will fight a bitch to get that book in a Barnes and Noble.
Me too.
I'll elbow you in the nose. Give me that book.
Suck you in the jaw.
If a baby has it,
I will.
baby's getting punched, bro.
I will
Straight up.
sock you in the jaw. I will suck you in the. Give me that book.
Oh my god.
Whatever it takes to get the book. Whatever it takes to get that book.
Avengers Endgame, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Get that book.
The
Whatever.
Lucasfilm Showcase also had like clips and trailers for things like the Acolyte that they didn't put online.
Oh, and let me tell you,
the Wookiee Jedi.
Yeah,
my god.
The Acolyte gave me some tingles in my jingles because they
100%.
showed an actor. I'm forgetting her name. Who is playing a character, and they haven't revealed anything from the Acolyte except somebody took a little on their phone and put it online. So it's a little blurry pic of like their presentation, and she's playing a character who is named, Vernestra Rowe, a Jedi Master, because this is all set during the High Republic era, and I have read now 2, maybe 3 books with a 17-year-old version of the character Vernestra. Love this character. Really great character.
Why do you love this character?
Let me tell you why. Because she's a young Jedi Master and she has her own Padawan.
Okay.
She has an apprentice.
Like 17-ish?
Yeah, who's like 15 years old and she's like 17 going on 18 or something. And so she is a character who like feels the pressure of, did I get this too soon? So it's like, and it's great because the stories that I've read, because there's different levels of reading in the High Republic, like their plan. They have like an adult novel, which you're borrowing right now, right? Light of the Jedi, and a couple other adult novels. Then they have the YA, and Vernestra lives right there. So she's a great character for the YA audience to relate to, and she's got green skin and some cool like diamond patterns on her face. I forget exactly what the alien is. I don't know if she's a Mary Ellen, or I don't know if we've known her race.
She have kind of like the nun look.
No,
Didn't we see those in Clone Wars? In Gendy's Clone Wars?
Maybe, I think so. Well, the nun look is what's that Jedi name?
Shakti?
No.
No, Shakti had
with like the cloak. I'm trying to remember
it was
the
almost
name.
like a nun, like a straight like
Jedi Master. Not Syndulla. That's Hera Syndulla. Jedi Master. You know who I'm talking about.
I know exactly. I'm
think
going to try to find
Vernestra might be like her, but she's got purple hair. And she has a really cool lightsaber, dude. Her lightsaber is a whip.
No.
And it's like new to the world. And even she like figured out, that's what she looks like. And even she has figured out, I don't know if there's going to be a visual of her whip. So that's her purple lightsaber. But at one point she can like do it as like a whip version of it. And it
is Mary Ellen.
Mary Ellen, thank you. And she is like if you click on Mary Ellen, you see what the other example of it is. But anyway, she's like, the 17, 18-year-old version of the character. In the TV show, she's going to be like 38.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so I love that they're
she's
like
worked through a lot of that stuff.
I love that they're jumping ahead. And in the TV show, she's bald and she almost looks like a green version of Nebula.
Oh wow!
And I went, dude, what has Jedi Master Vernestra been through? And I'm like, the fact that I'm literally in the middle of reading a book right now with this character. Then they announced this is who this actor's playing. I was like, oh my god. They're embracing, this thing that we've been talking about, this Thrawn idea of like looking to the publishing, looking to the comics, looking to the video games. Cal Kestis, he's going to be in some live actions. He's going to show up in like probably not Andor season 2 because they're doing their own thing with Andor. But like, anyway, that was very exciting for me.
The one I'm thinking of is Baris Ofi.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
yes.
got it.
Yes. He's got like almost like a nun cloak, kind of a very religious looking.
You've seen it before. This character.
Yeah.
Baris,
very cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was so jazzed about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I knew how to read so I can read these novels.
You don't have to because then the Acolyte's coming out.
I wish I could,
just
but there's other stuff that I want to read.
Audiobooks, baby.
That's true.
Yeah,
audiobooks.
Yes.
I'll read them to you.
Okay. Thank you.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing, and we've talked about it a lot, but I think the thing that I'm excited about in this like newish part of the Star Wars universe is that it really feels like all the people who are currently working on Star Wars, they're all collaborating together just like on a story level to see like what can we pull from everything, games, publishing, legends, you know, the former expanded universe, the new expanded universe.
I mean, Black Chrysanthemum comics.
Yeah.
And now he's walking around Book of Boba Fett.
And I love that. I think that's so cool. And I like the fact that a lot of the people who are coming into the universe are also very aware of like the Acolyte, for example. It starts at the very end of the High Republic. 100 years before the Phantom Menace. We don't know how many years that show spans necessarily and how close it gets to the Phantom Menace, but 100 years is a lot. So I don't imagine it'll be that much time.
Yeah.
But just listening to the showrunner talk about how like we are aware of that. So whenever we design things, we have to kind of make it feel like it could eventually lead into the Phantom Menace, whether it's like the tone, the design, the worlds, the vehicles. And I think that's so cool because sometimes I feel like if you bring in a director, they'll just go, yeah, you know, prequels are the prequels, but we're going to do our own thing.
Right.
It needs to feel a little bit organic, like there is a natural progression. And that is one thing that I think episode 1, the most out of all the prequels, went really far away from the original trilogy, given it was only 32 years. But I think it ended up being a good choice because I think it will allow that much more creativity for everybody else, you know, to do their own thing.
And I especially, when I think about the Phantom Menace, I know that a bunch of it's on Tatooine, but I think about like Naboo.
Oh my God, Naboo's
and I'm like
majestic as shit.
And I'm like, and their ships and everything. I'm like, that's so cool that stuff was so different than A New Hope.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, because Naboo is just like a new planet. Like it can have
let it have its own thing.
Let it have its own thing. So I really like that.
Yeah. Is there any project that you guys were the most like excited for? Because I know you've been like, you're really excited about the Rey movie, right?
I am.
The New Jedi Order.
I am very excited about it because the opportunity is there to like not necessarily fix things of the sequel trilogy, but enhance. That's the word we've been saying. It's to enhance.
But it's also moving on from the sequel trilogy too, right?
And what I mean by that is like, you know, I love The Last Jedi. And that movie was Rian Johnson going, Rey comes from nowhere. And she's the hero of this story, which I think is a choice that I love. Now, I understand the choice that they followed up with, which is actually Rey is the granddaughter of the most evil person. And that's where she comes from. And, you know, certain things in that movie felt like they were trying to backtrack a little bit of what happened in The Last Jedi. When you're watching that movie, it feels like it's Disney going, is this what you guys want?
That's exactly what it is.
And I'm like, I don't want you to do that. I don't want, what was this, Bob Iger notes? What is this? What do they go to Reddit? What are you doing? Don't do that.
That's what they did.
You're going to make them kiss? Okay, sure. I mean, I guess Rey and Kylo, they had it was there. They had a thing, but
I didn't feel any chemistry.
I preferred the I mean, I think it's there, especially the way that like she grabbed his thigh in the room against the Praetorian guards. But the point being, I prefer the choice at the end of The Last Jedi to have Kylo Ren be the full-on bad guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, I think that's great. But I'm not gonna lie, I also did like it when he went good after he talked to Harrison Ford.
Yeah, nice little redemption arc.
And he goes at the end, he goes, shrugs his little shoulders, is wearing the black sweater. I'm like, I dig that shit too. Anyway, this movie could then basically move past. I don't want to see Ghost Mark Hamill. I'm sorry, I don't. But I would not mind seeing Jedi Finn do right by John Boyega. I would not mind seeing where's Rose Tico. In this
we
world,
need to see Rose
15 years later. Where's she at? Where, you know, what happened to this rebellion in this world? Was it more successful than the New Republic?
She
15 years after,
badass general or some kind of leader.
Would not mind seeing. I mean, there's so many great characters from the Poe Dameron, of course. I would not mind seeing Poe with a boyfriend. Maybe Poe and Finn together. You know, maybe Poe. There's just so many places where you could go that I think that especially with those 3 new characters, because there was so much going on in the sequel trilogy, now with one solo movie could maybe like give them more focus in a way.
Where's Grogu?
Well, I think that I mean Grogu's got to be a part of it, right?
Unless we see Grogu die on screen, those are unanswered questions. You know what I mean?
I think Grogu is going to be the future of Star Wars.
Like, I think like.
It's tough because he's a puppet. That's what's tough about it.
Why is that tough?
Well, finish your thought. I want to get into that.
Well, I was just going to say, like, now with how everything is being made and it is very much like a big creative circle, I have to imagine that the creators of, James Mangold is a little different because he's so far in the past that he literally doesn't have to worry about a goddamn thing.
Yeah, Yoda ain't even alive.
He can do anything.
That's how far
anything.
back. That's
He's
how far
so
back he
which
is.
I'm like,
Yeah,
thank you.
Right.
yeah,
But when it comes to doing a movie that's 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker,
yeah.
a lot of characters that live long lives
Yeah.
could potentially show up in that movie.
Yeah.
Like maybe Mon Mothma is still alive and she's a very old woman.
I see.
Very old woman.
Yeah.
Grogu lives 900 years.
Yep.
Very much could be alive if that's still the case,
Stepping into the prime of life for him.
Yeah,
Right.
Ahsoka,
Yeah.
maybe if Ahsoka is like in her mid 40s during the events
Right.
of the New Republic era, then like she could
could be
technically be in her like
60s,
late 70s.
Also,
Yeah.
what does she age like? Like,
Exactly.
we don't have a concrete.
Exactly.
We
Yes,
don't
we
have
do.
a concrete idea.
Remember the Tales of the Jedi?
Oh, that's right.
With little baby Ahsoka, there
that's
was
right.
an
We
elder.
do. Yeah.
How sick would it
Right.
be if Ahsoka aged like that?
Exactly.
What if she had a child?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
What if
And
she had kids? and a
That's
family?
why I get excited when all these directors are
Yeah.
potentially like in one room being
they're all
like,
talking.
well, what players are you guys going
Yep.
to keep? What players
Yeah.
are going to? So I'm
Yeah.
like, it would be so cool if when that movie comes out, all of a sudden in one scene you see an elder Ahsoka Tano
Talking to
and she's
Rey.
like maybe she's like retired, but she's like a Jedi master,
Right,
as
right,
powerful as someone as Yoda,
Yeah.
Great.
and then Grogu is there with her. Like there's
Yeah.
just so
like they
much.
both run an academy.
Yeah, like
That
there's
would be
so
so
many
great.
of those potential things that could happen that I think would be
Yeah.
amazing.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I
great.
agree. Well, just to go back to the thing of like, I would love it if Grogu became a fixture. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
If Grogu is,
Oh, yeah,
when you say
absolutely.
the future of the Star Wars franchise, he kind of already is.
Yeah.
Because the Grogu thing
That's why
with
I
the
said it.
Mandalorian,
That's why I
that's
said
what it
it.
is. But I don't know if he could be a protagonist in a movie or even a show by himself. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's not just because,
know.
not just because he is. It's not just because he is puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can connect to puppets. I can emotionally
Yoda.
connect to puppets.
Yeah. The
Yoda,
Muppets.
absolutely. But I think that the reason Yoda works is because he is the mentor to like the human character that we're connected to. So we don't necessarily have to follow Yoda. Even in Clone
He's a
Wars
magical,
episodes,
mystical character. He
Yes.
doesn't need to be
right.
the center.
The center or relatable. And
right.
even in Clone Wars episodes that are like about Yoda, there's also other clones there.
Yeah.
It's like that's who we're kind of mapping ourselves onto, like Rex and those clones, and Yoda's walking and leading them and talking to them, and
He's
you're
untouchable.
digging it. He's
Yoda's like
untouchable.
untouchable.
Yeah.
But I think, and especially with the aspect of like Grogu aging so slowly, he's literally nonverbal.
Right.
It's very difficult to do the whole movie around, like to have him be the focus.
I mean, I think he's going to learn to talk by the end of season
his voice
3.
will be
Like,
Patrick
or the end of
Stewart.
season 4.
Potentially,
Right?
and he, and again, somebody pointed out to me, I think it was Eric Voss on New Rockstars was like, and maybe it was Tommy Bechtold. One of those guys was like, well, he could age the way that like, look, Baby Groot was a baby, and then 4 years later was a teen Groot.
Right.
We didn't know how Groot's aged, and I'm like, okay, that's fair. We technically don't know how the Yoda species ages.
We don't.
We just know that they're 50 and already have gray hair when they're still a baby.
Right.
And we know that they can get to 900 years old and then maybe die of natural causes.
We don't know.
That's kind of what happened to Yoda. He kind of was
one of
just
those
He just
Force,
kind of
yeah.
was just
evaporated.
like because of his he
The
wasn't
Force.
he wasn't like stabbed. Like he
Right,
just,
right.
So it's like, all right, so what is Grogu going to look like if he's 50 at New Republic and then what is it, 15 years later? It's like the sequel trilogy, and then 15 years after. So he's going to be 80 or 90 or 100 years old.
They could use dog aging logic. So they've
Yeah.
realized that dogs don't age linearly like we do.
Right.
So dogs age very quickly when they're young, and then their aging slows down as they get older.
Yeah.
Down. Yeah.
And so that's why puppies become, dogs, and they learn things very quickly because that's how they evolved to do it. And so they spend their longest lives in their adult phase.
Okay.
And so then when they age very, very slowly, which
Could be
seems like what happens to
Yoda.
Yoda.
Yeah, because you see exactly. And with Grogu, it's like I would feel differently if when we did the flashbacks to Order 66 and he was 20 years old, if he looked kind of very different and younger
right.
baby, I would be like, okay, then we're going to see him. But the fact that he looked to me the same, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, how are they going to do that?
Yeah,
Like
right,
he
right. No,
really
you're
is
right.
not going to change.
I mean, who knows?
So, but
Who
then
knows?
again, he could still stay looking the same, but maybe just become verbal.
Right. Or just become more mobile. Like if
Right.
he becomes, he
Right.
can still kind of look the same, but his muscles could develop, like his motor skills could develop more, his cognitive abilities could develop a lot more. So he could look like a little baby. What if he adopts like being in a mech? What if he doesn't grow? What if he has some issue where if he's a clone with a genetic disorder?
It's just like
that won't grow.
We know nothing about that species.
We don't.
We thought they all talk like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yaddle proved us wrong.
Yaddle proved us wrong.
I don't know why Master Yoda speaks like
R.I.P.
that.
Yaddle.
No.
R.I.P. We
No,
love
and
you.
I think somebody at Lucasfilm answered it. Maybe it was Dave Filoni. Yeah, I think because they asked him about how Bryce Dallas Howard's Yaddle was. And I think he said something like, oh, George always said that he spoke like that because of how he was influenced by his master. Something like that. Like that's why Yoda speaks like that. And I'm like, that's such a cool idea.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
just like how people adopt accents, right?
Right,
Like,
Yeah,
right,
exactly. Maybe
that's
maybe
the same thing.
A dialect it is.
maybe
Yeah.
in that 25,000 years ago Star Wars story, we'll see an alien race that speak like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll be like, oh, is one of those guys going to be eventually Yoda's
Yoda's
mentor,
master.
master?
I bet you they already thought about this.
Yeah.
I bet you Filoni's already like, oh, I got you, boo boo.
Anyway, pretty great celebration. Are we going to Tokyo, guys?
We should.
I
go
want to.
Japan.
LFG.
I really want to go to
I think.
Tokyo.
I
just
think.
in
I think
general.
it being in 2025 gives
Yeah.
us a lot of time to really like plan.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I really want to make it worth it by having a panel,
Me too.
being on a panel and
Oh,
having
gotcha,
a panel.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Because otherwise, we've been to cons. We know what they're like.
yeah.
So walking around is cool.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
But I think what really would make it worth it is that panel idea that I pitched to you guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
Save
it out
it.
here because people are
Save
going
it.
to jack it.
I would also be down to like maybe if we wanted to do the panel with like one or two other
Oh,
channels.
sure.
I would totally be down.
You know, like Star Wars Explained,
Yeah.
for example. Like,
And,
it'd be really,
just
really
like,
fun.
yeah,
Hang
and-
out with the Blind Wave crew.
Yeah,
People
anybody.
show up for that.
Do they do? I don't think they go to cons very much.
They
do
went to Celebration.
They went.
Yeah, they
all
went.
of them.
Their
Yeah.
meetup was fucking huge, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should. The picture is actually really cool.
Okay.
They took a group photo under the sign that says like "Welcome to Star Wars Celebration London." It's
Cool.
a rad photo. There was
Okay.
a lot of people that showed up. Yeah, it was
Then
cool.
We
Let's
got
go.
a one up. We
Tokyo.
got a one up.
Yeah, we should go to Tokyo. I think it'd be rad
Konnichiwa,
fun.
bitches. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What was Adam? Your question earlier was like, what are you most excited about?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it. I mean, I would have said the Rey like movie, whatever that's going to be, and then we just saw the trailer for Star Wars Vision season 2, and I was
Jesus
like, oh,
Christ.
Yeah.
that's going to
Yeah.
be next month,
Yeah.
May the 4th, and I'm like, that is what I'm most excited
Yeah.
about right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Ahsoka looks incredible.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it looks
It looks
good.
so good, but I think I'm most excited for James Mangold's thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be a Lord of the Rings-ish style,
Yes.
almost even Avatar The Last Airbender style
Yes.
epic story, which
Yeah.
is probably, I'm hoping deep down that it's not just one movie.
Right.
That it's like the trilogy
Yeah,
or
me
like
too.
whatever of whatever we need to see.
Yeah.
Because there's so much. I do deep dives on like Star Wars lore, and I really like the early beginnings of like Jedi and the Sith
Force.
and the Force, and
Cool.
even the bigger concepts that they explore in other shows of like the son and the daughter with the father
Right.
of the Force and
Right,
like all that
right.
stuff. I love all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, going back and seeing the beginnings of it, I think is going to be a really cool opportunity to get more fantasy style storytelling in something
Oh, yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
is like tech fantasy that Star Wars is, you know, almost like space
Yeah.
wizards
Yeah.
that they are,
Yeah.
and where it all came from. I think that's really exciting. But that and Ahsoka, I think, are my top projects right now.
I think for me, it's the Mangled movie, The Acolyte,
Mm.
and Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Ahsoka's
In
gonna be
terms of
incredible.
like stuff that is all part of one story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of things that are obviously like non-canonical, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
Star Wars Visions.
Visions is going to be incredible.
It's gonna be
It's
so good.
it's the Spider Verse of the Star Wars
It
universe.
is. It is. It is. It
It's
is.
just it's
Yes,
so
it is.
it is, right? Indeed, it is.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed, my friend.
Let's
get into some
indeed get into
questions.
some fan questions.
All right.
Okay.
First question comes from Lemon Eater L. Favorite summer vacation memory?
Oh man.
Mine is kind of simple. For my 30th birthday, I went to Europe with 6 of my friends.
Oh, cool.
And that was the first time we had all taken a vacation together internationally. That was my first time being in Europe in 15 years.
Mhm,
That was amazing.
Is this like Sorry, is this a summer vacation of like when you're a kid and you're on summer vacation
Whenever.
from school? Or
Whenever.
just a memory during the summer?
Yeah,
It was a
just
summer vacation.
favorite summer
right.
memory.
My 30th birthday.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
And I've been lucky enough to do a lot of traveling internationally, but I think that one was my favorite only because that was my first time there as an adult, and I got to do whatever I wanted, and we stayed out till 3 a.m. every night, and we slept for 3 hours, and then we did it all over again. We
Oof.
adventured to all kinds of cities. and
I
stuff. It
felt
was
bad
fun.
when you went with us because I knew that was your experience, and we were falling asleep at 10 p.m.
Yeah, 10 p.m. and they're like, let's
Yeah.
go out. And they're like, we're going to bed. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like,
Sorry, dude.
I'm fucking old, bro.
Yep.
I don't do that shit.
yeah.
What about you, Hector? You have a good summer memory?
Yeah, I got a couple of great ones.
Is it falling asleep at Comic Con?
All of them revolving around
Comic-Con.
summer San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything?
I'm not
you'd
going
like
to share them.
venture?
I'm thinking about them. They're great.
They're too special to share.
They're maybe a little spicy. So I'm
Oh,
gonna hold on to that.
oh! I think I know which one you're talking
I'm gonna
about.
hold on to that.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I think you told me. I think you told me.
Maybe I
yeah.
did. Maybe I did. I mean,
I
you
think
guys were there. That was the spice.
Yeah, I know.
It's when we all had a three-way. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's best San Diego Comic Con of my. Why didn't you say that one, bro? Why didn't you say that as your memory?
Yeah, dude.
Wasn't
My
that
bad.
great?
Oopsie.
All right.
I think my favorite summer memory is back in the day. It's no sexy time.
Mm-hmm.
It was one summer as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was just one summer. I'm not sure, but it was back in the day when like N64 was big. Like we were playing GoldenEye, we were playing Crash Bandicoot, we were playing a bunch of stuff. But my favorite memory is that somehow that summer we all had super soakers, and it was hot.
Awesome.
And like every day we would go outside from like early morning to sunset, just blasting each other with super soakers. And that was like, I felt like that's what like the Wonder Years would have been in the 90s. You know, like if the show The Wonder Years happened in the 90s, they would show a scene like that. And I think back on it, I'm like, that was pretty rad.
That was good.
That
times.
was pretty rad as a
That was
kid.
good times.
We all had rollerblades at the same time. Like it was,
Yeah.
we'd strap on our rollerblades and like blast each other and just like run up and down the street. And there was a big group of us that lived on the same street. So it was just like
Just a bunch of Kens.
endless. Yeah. Just
Living
a
your
bunch
best
of
life.
broke little Mexican kids just having a good time with water
Having
outside.
a good time. Having a good time.
great.
That was mine. Anyways,
All right.
Great question.
Next question from Werewood. Hey guys, have you considered reacting to BTS stuff? I love hearing your takes on the things that go into making shows. Would just be interested in seeing you react to Galleries or the ILM show. Love the vibes.
Those are great.
I don't know, guys. I hear Koreans are assholes. Just kidding. Dumb and Dumber joke.
I
Guys,
get it.
come on. Come on.
BTS. That's
Yeah.
great.
Well, honestly, when I first read that question, I was like, "Oh, this person's gonna be disappointed when they find out I don't listen to BTS."
I don't listen to BTS. Sorry.
Did you guys see the behind the scenes thing they did for the Willow show?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Lovely, charming
Was it
as
good?
all get out.
Okay.
I think the answer to the question is no, only because we have other stuff
Yeah.
to get to. But I love that stuff.
I mean,
So-
that's what got me into the film
Yeah.
industry. Like
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the tough part with answering people's questions like that about what we're gonna watch is like finding where we watch stuff for our own enjoyment.
Mhm.
Sure.
You know, and I
Sure.
think that kind of BTS stuff is like
A little
stuff
bit.
that I really enjoy and that
Yeah.
I don't. It's not about not feeling comfortable sharing. It's just that like I watch that for me because I
I'll
geek
say
out on
this.
it.
Yeah.
I watched it with my girlfriend, and it was
Yeah.
kind of nice to watch a Willow related thing
Right.
with her
Yeah.
that I hadn't seen already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It was kinda
That's what
nice.
I'm saying, right? It's just like it's nice
Yeah.
to like
Oh.
as much as I love React, like watching shows
Yeah.
with you guys has changed the way I consume
Yeah,
media.
me too.
Absolutely. But there are still some things like that kind of stuff
Yeah.
and other documentaries. I love watching documentaries on like Bigfoot and shit. They're not really documentaries. It's just like
Video essays.
yeah, it's just whatever on like cryptids and Bigfoot and like all that stuff.
Get a little drink,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
sit comfy on your
That's
couch,
fine. That's for me.
and not have to worry about being on camera.
Exactly.
and then just kind of
When the ILM documentary came out, I binge watched
very
the
good.
whole thing
very
in a
good.
day. And I went and I got like a drink, I got some food,
Yeah.
and I was just at my computer and I
Yeah.
watched like 5 episodes straight, and I was like, "This is awesome!
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
just
That's what we
consuming
do.
this for me."
Yeah. So sorry guys, we're gonna be a little bit selfish with some
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that BTS stuff
Yeah,
that's
is,
okay.
You know,
It's okay.
it's for
That's
us.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be. Next question from Shelby Fielding. Hey guys, so glad you enjoyed the first season game of The Last of Us. I love that first game. I think I love the show more, though. However, the second game is one of my favorite stories ever.
Great.
That said, I have loved watching your guys' reactions as viewers who have no idea what to expect, but I think it will be very hard to avoid spoilers for season 2. But hopefully, you go in as blind and unfamiliar as possible because I have loved your theories. Some of them are way off, others are very close. But what are some ideas, hopes, fears, and expectations you have for part 2 of The Last of Us?
Great question.
It is a good question. And as soon as the finale aired, people were already talking about other characters that show up in game 2. I think Abby is one of them. And for like the things that I heard, I was like, what? Why would you cast this? What? I don't really get it. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to mute and block everything related to The Last of Us because I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to play the game before.
No.
I liked the experience of us going in super cold and not knowing anything because you got the reactions that you got because of that. If we were to go before the show comes out, the season,
we're not going to watch. We're not going to play the game. Sorry,
to play the game beforehand, I feel like it would take a little something away from the reactions. And I know some people in comments would say, I really wish you had played it beforehand. I prefer, because there's already so many channels that had played the game beforehand and they could call out all that stuff. And I think that's so cool that they could do that.
Yeah.
I liked not knowing. I liked going in being like, what is going to happen when they get to the village? What is going to happen when they get to the hospital?
Yeah.
Can you trust this character? Can you not trust? Should you not trust this character? I like that from my own experience. So I think in that regard, it's a perfect reason to not play the second game and to avoid spoilers as much as possible. And it's inevitable that maybe something will get spoiled. Hopefully it's not a big thing, but
if it does, that's on you guys. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's on shitty people who are spoiling stuff for people.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I'm gonna blame one crappy gamer, and I'm gonna say, hey, all you gamers,
don't do that.
Get your people,
wrangle your people together.
Get your people.
Make sure they stay real tight-lipped in the comments.
Yep.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I did read in the comments that I think I mentioned something that happens already in the second game. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Nobody like pointed it out.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, he said the thing. And I was like, I don't know what I said.
I don't know what the thing was.
I don't know what the thing is.
I don't know.
But I think I don't have any theories. I really want to see Joel face the consequences of him lying. Because you lied, bro.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
like
yeah.
you
Sorry,
straight
Papacito.
Straight
yeah,
up.
you
Sorry.
lied. That was not the move. And what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
How is
Yeah.
this going to inform all of your decisions in the future?
Agreed.
That's
Great
it.
question.
That's I don't have any doubts that it's not going to be a good show. So
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
they know what they're doing. They're fine.
Jorge Vergara asks, hey guys, just want to know if there's going to be a reaction about anime since you asked us a few months back, like My Hero Academia or Attack on Titan. Take care, homies. Ciao.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting thing that's happening.
Oh, what's happening?
I'm in a Discord that is filled with a bunch of reactors or reaction channels.
Ooh, okay.
There has been an individual going around to everyone's Patreon and copyright claiming and submitting
Striking.
and submitting cease and desists on all anime related content.
Oh, what?
Everything.
This has been happening in the last, I would say, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So every major reactor that you watch who has anime content on Patreon, they've had to remove it. They have to.
Is this a person? This individual is this a person who works for like an anime
we don't
company?
know.
They
We
work.
don't know.
They work for a private organization on behalf of
Anime companies. So it's a third party organization.
Basically a third party person who's just like, you need to remove all this content or we're going to sue you.
Okay, here's the thing, anime fans, get your people. That's your community.
Get your people.
That's your community.
Gamers, anime fans, gather your people, bro.
So they're
I don't know what to tell
acting
you.
on behalf of a lot of these companies who own the rights to these things.
Wow, I didn't know that.
A lot of reactors have been submitting like counterclaims, basically, and I would say the majority of them, it's turning out that they will be able to repost all of their content. So right now, like anime content, anime reactions, it's a really tricky territory because
Dang, and
a lot of these,
I wanted to do them all, but I guess we
a
can't.
lot of these channels, have hundreds of thousands of posts of anime content
Wow.
that have all had to been removed. Now they're starting to come back, but every channel
Runs the risk.
The time frame is sort of different for when all their stuff is going to come out. So
Wow.
I think before we dive into anime, we're going to wait and see how that whole situation plays out.
Yeah.
And then once it's resolved and once there's been some time that passes, then we can decide, okay, we'll do it now because now
Yeah.
it seems like everything's okay and it's all been taken care of. And, this was kind of a first time thing for Patreon too, because they're given all these cease and desists and all these copyright claims, and they don't know what to do other than to abide by whatever that contract states. So hopefully this experience will teach everybody something about all this stuff. Not that we're never going to do anime. We have to really see like what happens with this whole situation, and if everybody else's content is able to come back and it's all good, then we can talk about like, okay, let's actually start something.
Yeah.
That was a great answer, man. This is great stuff I didn't know. Like, very informative. And
I've been in this Discord for like a year now, and it's a lot of like major channels.
All your favorites
that are in there talking about
all
this
the
stuff.
famous
So
people.
It obviously didn't pertain to us at the time because we have no anime. But it's definitely something that like I was keeping track of because we've been talking.
But
about
it literally popped up when we started talking about you wanting to do anime
week
reactions.
later. A couple channels were like, "Oh, this happened.
Yeah.
So So
Great question.
not never, but at some point.
Okay.
Ernesto Aguirre asks, "How do you manage your relationships, girlfriends, wives with your jobs and YouTube?"
Woo!
Jesus Christ!
Ernesto,
Dang.
what do you? What kind of question is that?
What are you trying to find out? Did my wife send you? What's going on?
Oh man!
So
I think Ernesto is in a Discord with our girlfriends' wives and
loved ones.
Yeah,
is acting as a third party.
yeah.
He's gonna copyright strike us
I know.
for not spending time with people.
I mean,
it. So this
You and your wife have been together the longest out of like anybody
of all of us.
Yeah.
So when I met her, we had started doing this shortly after we had met.
Yeah.
So we were able to develop our relationship around our schedule already. So she knew you two as like, okay, these people are important to him.
That's what you do.
This is what you do on. It started off on Thursday nights. Remember that was like the first filming nights that we've had. But also, it's important to us. We live and die by our Google Calendar. Like that's really the way we make everything happen. Is that we share a Google Calendar. We share it with our loved ones and say, hey, this is the time we can work.
Literally, my girlfriend has the filming, like the recording calendar, so that she knows.
She needs that.
Yep.
But also, we try to focus our filming on 2 nights a week.
Yes.
Just like this night and this night to leave time to do other things with people that we like to do things. And we also try not to do anything on the weekends. So if shit drops on the weekends, you guys, don't expect to see it the weekend that it happens because we're all doing stuff.
It's a great question, Ernesto. I really appreciate it, but it's also like I think part of the answer is all the comments that are like, "You guys are late." That's how we have relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're comments that are mad at us for like, "Oh, you guys are late on this one." It's like, okay, well, we got girlfriends.
We got things to do.
It was on we had our Saturday and
I gotta
Sunday.
make a Trader Joe's run sometime.
Man.
Like, go to Costco and get some food.
I have a motorcycle to ride. I
buy
have
some
bicycles
TP.
to go.
Absolutely.
Hang out with. And
Anyway, it's interesting. It's fun.
It's a tricky balance.
Yeah.
It's a tricky balance.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
but we've made it work for almost
appreciate-
10 years.
I appreciate the question because it does at least sound like Ernesto even like cares.
Yeah.
You know, that anybody watching the stuff we do is like, don't work too hard, guys. I love those kinds of. And how many comments do you get, Adam? You know, I feel like we've almost trained our lovely viewers to be like, hey, make sure you're nice to Adam. He's working really hard.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's really nice to you. They're like, Adam, we so appreciate this drop.
Take a vacation,
break.
bro.
I know.
Wow, you guys were quick on this one. Adam, take it easy, buddy.
Oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
How is it for you though? Because like your wife doesn't work in our industry.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
But Abby does.
sure. I mean, it's the same.
You know, it's like because you guys are doing so many things. Do you ever like find it challenging to balance?
Well, it's all just about time management, and that is challenging. And even right now, we're watching a TV show together, and we're playing a few games together. And it's like, oh man, we don't have any like nights free this week because on top of this stuff, we're doing. You know, sometimes I spend some time with like my parents, or sometimes it's we're going to see a friend. A friend's going to come over. They're going to have a movie night or whatever. So like, or we're going to go out to dinner, or we went and did an event in Hollywood. But at least we got to hang out when we did that.
Yeah.
But so sometimes the time management should also include blocking in time for like us time.
Yeah.
Date night.
I think that's what I'm bad at.
Dinner.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy because it feel like, I'll give you an example. My girlfriend came home a week or so ago. She went and had some work done on her car. So she like dropped it off at the car dealership, went to a mall, and then the car was done and she came back. And when she got back, she was like, I'm so excited. I just found a new bookstore on the second floor of this mall. It's awesome. I want to go back. And she was like, hey, no, I want to bring you. And I was like, great. And I remembered that today. And I was like, hey, let's go back to the bookstore. Maybe Sunday. Let's go.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. We're not actually, that could kind of work out. And I was like, great. And I think we put it in our calendar, like
you
go to a bookstore.
Yeah.
So that helps. And it's just all time management.
Yeah. It's all calendar based stuff. I think we've found a good flow with our stuff though.
Yeah.
It was kind of tricky during October of last year though, with so many shows coming out.
Movies.
We had so many movies, so many shows. You should see our Google Calendar from that month. It's just crazy. But
that's when Italy. It was
you were traveling a lot, and so we just had to schedule filming every time. But then also our loved ones are like, "Hey guys, you guys need to like carve out time for other people." Because we were prioritizing our stuff.
I was single, so I didn't give a shit. I was like, we need to film this shit and get it on Patreon and on YouTube, so we fucking deal with it.
At the same time,
and now I'm like, what are we doing on Wednesday? Am I free?
Yeah,
there
exactly.
You go.
But like I think that's important. Like making time for ourselves as individual people.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to the other question about watching BTS stuff. It's like we also make time to watch other things on our own that are not involved with any of this, because it's nice. I require my brain to take a break from all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because if I think about it too much, I just get in my head about it, and then, like thoughts can turn negative and just like whatever. Like I kind of like to look at the whole global look of it rather than like really get lost in the weeds about things that are happening from day to day.
It's not fully work, but it's still kind of work. And if we don't watch things on our own, movies and TV shows on our own, and everything is just for this, then like it's going to turn all of movies and TV into this, and it might sour it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's like I was talking to somebody
for yourself.
I was talking to somebody who I think we know is a mutual acquaintance, pal of ours, who like works in the board game industry, and he was telling me, he goes, last year I started just playing more board games because I was working so much, and I was like, I'm only going to play a board game if it could, if it's something I'm working on. That he was like, I had to kind of go back to like, why do I even like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's important too. Is keeping that in mind.
Watching other stuff.
And trying to remember why we even like this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm also in a different position because I don't live with my significant other.
Yeah, that's true.
She doesn't live in the city.
Yeah.
So in like some ways now that makes it a little bit more challenging.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have to carve out time to like go visit her, and then she comes here and visits me.
Time is the travel,
and then it's
too.
like,
but also,
gonna film
we can also work out more efficient ways of working.
Yeah,
so
because we
makes
have the
everything.
flexibility to do things remotely.
Right, exactly. So like we can figure out more efficient ways of working now that you have more of a balance to take care of, right? So I feel like I was telling Adam this earlier today. I feel like you and I have it well worked out because we've been with our significant others for so long that it's already part of our routine. Whereas like Adam is in a fresh, new, exciting relationship, and I understand that's all you want to do. Like if it was up to you, you'd be over there 24/7. Like that's what happens when you first start dating, right? And that's exciting. Yeah. And so just finding that balance is really kind of tricky, but we've made it work for this long. So
yeah. Thankfully, we can do
keep
stuff
working.
remotely.
What is that cup, dude?
This was it's a beer koozie cup.
Oh, I like how slow
You
that
see
goes.
that? It's such a perfect fit. So it's supposed to keep a normal beer can.
Oh my god!
Cool. You see that?
It does.
You see that?
Yeah, look at this. Aye. Nice and slow. I like that. But what does it say on the outside label?
Oh, these are all just motorcycle.
What is it?
So there's Builtware motorcycles, Grin Moto, my
stickers.
Magic Key, Common Motor,
Common Motor.
Tiger Belly, and then this one says your bike is giving me douche bumps. So
Oh
I
my
like
God.
that. I
Yeah.
like that.
Nice.
Douche bumps. Thank
Next.
you, Nick.
Ronan
Nick.
Unchained asks, hey, hermanos, bummed you guys couldn't make it to Star Wars Celebration. By
Oh,
any
man.
chance, are y'all going to SDCC?
Yeah.
I figure now is a good time for anyone going to start planning. If so, well, here's before to have a panel and a meetup. Hope to see y'all there so we can hug it out and chat.
Let's do it. Let's do a panel.
Last year you had COVID.
I know, dude.
Literally on Monday of Comic-Con weekend.
I'm gonna stay home.
He literally goes, what could be the worst thing that I could tell you right now? And him and I were both like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I felt bad.
I'm gonna stay home 2+ weeks before San Diego
Yeah.
Comic-Con this year.
I think that's a good
am
idea.
not gonna miss it. I am not.
We can't
gonna
miss it. We
It's
can't
gonna
miss
be
it. Like
Tight.
Last year was, I mean, I had a death in the family, so I could not go.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for leaving Adam by
He
himself.
held it down by himself.
Adam held it down by himself with like.
You know what was crazy is
Drove back on Sunday
Yeah.
so we could film everything.
I had FOMO about all the Marvel stuff that you were checking out, but also like you sat in on the Star Trek Picard season 3 panel.
You did.
and you don't even watch Star Trek, and
No,
you
it
were
was
like,
great.
you were like, this looks great, and I was like, motherfucker, I shouldn't be there. Aye. So
Yeah, there were some good panels.
Look,
Damn.
we're gonna try to do what we've done at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Just basically try to repeat whatever we did.
Yeah, I actually don't know when the panel submission ends. So if anyone has any insight as to any of that stuff, like I would love to do a panel at Comic Con. It'd be
so great.
It would be cool.
We're trying to get a panel. Apparently, it's an exclusive thing that.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
it's
gotta
weird.
be invited.
You got to be invited. You have to
Yeah.
know
Hey.
somebody
Or know
to know
someone.
somebody.
Hey,
Who do we
Hey.
know? Who do we
Hey.
know?
I
Pass
was, on,
this
I
around.
was on a panel last year for Hector, so we could ask that person.
Right.
for me?
Yeah. Remember
I
you
subbed you out
you
'cause you were
subbed in
sick.
Oh yeah.
for this
Hey.
guy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's find out.
Right. So
Okay, sound good,
we
sound
want to
good.
do a panel. We have a
Thank
panel
you,
idea.
Ronan. Thank you, hermano.
And we want to do a fan meetup.
Yeah,
And all of
yeah.
that good stuff. So just stay tuned.
John Mitsui asks, hey guys, thank you for all the content you put out. I would love to hear your thoughts on review bombing. I know episode 3 of The Last of Us, She-Hulk, The Little Mermaid live action with Halle Bailey, plus more recently, the Marvels
pathetic.
have been subject to it.
It's pathetic.
Why do you think this occurs? Has
Oh,
this been only a
racism?
recent thing or has this always been there? I've only really started noticing it since COVID. Not sure if I can correlate that. You
always
guys
been
always
there.
have the best takes on these issues, so definitely appreciate you all.
It's always been there, but it's just because
Yeah.
the internet's always been there.
Yeah.
I so appreciate this question. If you're on the younger side, a lot of people are figuring this out now, and I'm like, oh, I was there with Phantom Menace episode 1, 1999, baby.
Yeah.
That internet did not have YouTube thumb down that you could
No.
click on.
Right.
It had message boards and hate and racism and homophobia and all that stuff was there in those places, but it existed.
Yeah.
So it's not new. It's just that it's finding new ways to
It's just
to manifest
It's just
itself.
lauder now.
Yeah.
It's louder,
It's
and
louder
because
now.
it's like coordinated. Because
Right.
as soon as they figured out, oh, Rotten Tomatoes has a fan thing you could click with put your reviews. Let's bomb Ghostbusters and give it the worst. So studios see that the fans. It's like that's not fans.
Yeah.
who hate that shit.
It's
that's
not,
a bunch
no.
of like racist men.
So
bunch
that's-
of sexist
that's the
men.
cause.
So it's not
Misogyny,
Yeah.
racism,
Yeah.
sexism,
Yeah.
privilege,
Yes.
free time,
Being really pathetic.
and living in your mom's basement. Like that's the causes of all of this stuff.
And I want to say,
because-
if you actually live in your mom's basement, that's fine. But that phrase, what that phrase
describes a
represents,
certain type of person.
yes, that is like you said, privileged.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear that phrase in your mom's basement, that's the first thing I think of. Oh, how privileged you are. Oh, you live in fucking Minnesota or wherever. You live in fucking
it's always like somewhere.
bumfuck Iowa. You live in some place where you're not in California. You live in
Forever
some
goodbye.
place where you have either some job or you're like, oh, a mailman ran over my toe 16 years
Yeah.
ago, so I've got money from the government. Kind of free time. You sit at home on your computer. You hateful, out of shape piece of shit. Like
That's right.
That's
That's
what
right.
that means.
Greasy greaseball.
You might have your own place, but
Yeah.
it's like again, you live in bumfuck Iowa, so rent's less expensive than fucking California, and then you channel all of your existence and time on this earth into that. Pathetic, dude.
It is
Pathetic.
absolutely pathetic.
The origins come from the stereotype of living in your mother's basement and
Absolutely.
not moving out, but it still means like a stunted person.
Yes.
You're stunted.
I think it comes from a place. Those people who type those kinds of those
Ugh.
type of comments are very insecure, very sad, probably very lonely, and
Yeah.
are just calling out for some kind of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And they that's what they want. Like they don't know any other way to communicate with people besides being negative and angry and sad and all of that stuff, which is very sad because you're right. That is a stunted, emotionally grown person.
Yep.
Right. They never moved on from a certain place, and that place, whatever threatens that, is gonna get the brunt of your childish hate.
Whatever challenges that.
Whatever childish ways that you deal with your emotions, that's what you do.
And their community that they find is
Yeah.
a community that tells them, no, you don't have to grow.
Right.
You're fine being stunted.
Yeah, be stunted.
It was better then. Make America great again. It was better then, back then. So you don't have to be challenged. Oh, okay.
Don't think about anything new.
Okay, Charlie. Okay. Oh, wow. Your friends are so nice to you, Charlie. Piss me off.
On
But
that
yeah,
note,
no, you're right, and it's all bad faith arguments.
Yeah.
We don't entertain them. We don't talk to those people. We don't like them in our community. If you type those comments in our comment section, prepare to be banned. Prepare to have your comment not seen because we don't support any of that stuff. So thank you.
and to end their question, they said #Heroes Reforged Forever and goodbye.
Oh, what?
Hell yeah!
I
There you
love
go.
that.
And also, Idaho's not a bad place. It's
Yeah,
just,
or Iowa. It's cool.
Iowa, whatever.
But you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I
You
know
know the type of
I think
person.
everybody knows what you're talking about.
And some of those people live in California too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
In OC.
In OC.
That's true. That's very true.
They do.
And East San Diego.
Yeah. True.
In Santee.
Yeah.
Oops. San Diego County.
Grace Galawongo asks, hey guys, I decided to spoil myself these past few months and finally spent my money on something meaningful, your Patreon. Thank you so much.
I didn't think that's what they were going to say. That's so
Yeah.
nice.
I thought they were going to say 3D TV.
Or like, I got all the streaming services.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's been a good 2 months so far, and even though I don't say much on Discord, I still feel as though I'm part of some super secret club. It's great.
Hell yeah.
We should have a secret handshake in case we meet IRL.
Hell yeah.
Just kidding, unless. On a more serious note, I don't remember if you've mentioned this before in a previous podcast episode, but what are your comfort movies or TV shows? One could argue that they could differ from your favorite movies and shows.
yeah,
But I
absolutely.
suppose they could be the same. Mine are Shrek 2, Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, Ted Lasso, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Interesting.
Mine
Mine
are,
is- Yo, go ahead.
No, you go.
Mine is Chef the movie and
yeah.
Chef the Chef show.
Oh, yeah. That's a good
Mine is Nacho Libre
one. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
and Comfort Show. Man, that's a great one.
I'll throw in Queer
Oh.
Eye for the Straight Guy too.
Oh,
The
that's
Netflix
great.
That's
one.
a good one.
Comfort Show is anything from the DC animated universe, Justice League,
Mm.
Superman
Oh, yeah, that's
the
a good one.
animated
That's a good
series,
one.
Yeah.
Static Shock. Comfort.
My comfort, I tend to go to TV shows. My comfort show is
You
how
don't
it's
say-
made.
If you don't say 90 Day Fiance,
No, that's not my comfort show.
It can cause stress. a little
Yeah,
bit.
no,
90
that
days.
show,
Yeah.
we
That's
scream
true.
at the television.
that's true. You do.
It's so much fun to talk shit
That's
and
the
scream at the
that's the
television.
spectator sport.
No,
show.
my comfort show is how it's made. The Science Channel, how it's made.
Oh my God, Bob Ross. Does that count?
I mean, it counts. If that's your comfort show, then that's your comfort show. I never attached
Mr.
to
Rogers'
Bob Ross.
Neighborhood. Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers makes me sad because he's too good for this earth. And I'm just like, bro, you're going to make me cry because you're too pure. Like, everything you do, like, everything he does feels so gentle and nice and, like,
Yeah.
ideal. And I'm just like,
I saw
the
a
world's
clip.
not like this, bro.
I saw a clip of from the 80s or 90s, him and LeVar Burton
Oh, yeah.
sitting next to each other
Yeah.
with a book open, and LeVar's reading the book. And it's like there's a picture of like presumably like a dad and
Yeah.
like his son on
Yeah.
his shoulders, and on the background it looks like New York or like a city. And they're, like LeVar's reading it, and then Mr. Rogers, Fred, he goes, "Do you think they're gonna get some pizza?" Because there's a
Dude,
pizza restaurant
No.
in the back.
It's too
He goes,
much for
"Do you
my
think-
heart.
Do you think they're gonna go and get some pizza at that restaurant? And LeVar's like,
He's
"Oh, I
too
certainly
pure.
do. I certainly do." And he goes,
too
"It's
pure.
probably very good pizza."
Oh
there."
my god!
he's
You're
too
just
pure.
What?
Oh my god,
so
dude!
good.
The fact that he cared so much about children to make that his life is
Yeah.
just it's mind-boggling. Him and LeVar Burton are absolute treasures
Oh, my goodness.
to this world.
Yeah.
They're too pure for us.
Yeah.
And so I can't watch the shows as a comfort show because I stress out that the world is not how LeVar Burton and Mr.
Yeah.
Rogers intended it to be, which it should be that way. Anyways, I'm getting sad.
Great question.
Yeah.
William Kessenberry asks, "Would you guys do a watch along in reaction to the Phantom movie from 1996? Is one of my
Yeah.
favorite comic book movies.
Fuck
Billy
it, yeah.
Zane.
Let's
I
do
love
it.
that movie.
That would be fun.
That movie's
I don't think I've ever seen it. So
really,
yeah.
I've seen it, but 20, 30 years ago. I also
Yeah.
remember the movie The Shadow with Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
We should also do Mystery Man while we're at it.
Yeah.
Oh, that one,
It's kind of
yes, doesn't quite hold up as well as I was hoping
Yeah, I
it
kind of
does.
figured.
I don't know if The Phantom holds up.
Yeah,
I don't know if The
we don't
Shadow holds up.
We don't
know.
I don't know if some of these in the 90s, they like Dick Tracy, I don't think holds up. I rewatched that recently. Remember that movie?
I remember commercials.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember the Burger King toys.
But it's interesting how in the 90s, after the success of Tim Burton's Batman,
Yeah.
Hollywood was like, okay,
everything dark.
characters from comic books, got it.
Got
We're going to
it.
go to the pulp heroes.
Let's
What?
go to the early 1910s.
Absolutely. Here's the Shadow. Here's the Phantom.
Here's Green Hornet.
like what? Yeah,
Yeah.
which took them a minute, but yeah,
Yeah,
characters
yeah.
like that. I'm like,
right.
who saw the Batman movie and went, you know what else is like Batman? Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy.
I don't know about that, dude.
No.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
Whatever.
yeah, fuck it. We'll do it.
JR Catechist asks, what's up, homies? Thanks for the constant quality content. Might be a long shot, but considering the completely diverse genre of music y'all listen to individually, Hector with film scores, Augustine with hip hop and techno, and Adam's classic rock or rock preference, is there any way you will release a Chexican Spotify playlist that basically consists of a few of your favorite tracks to listen to? That would be so dope. Anyways, if not, all good. Thanks for taking the time to read this.
I got thousands. I've gotten Adam into so much music.
Yeah. I've never thought about that, but that actually is like a really fun idea.
Yeah. Heroes Reforged.
We could do like volume 1, and it's like, you know, we can do multiple volumes, and it's,
you know what would be cool? Heroes Reforged playlist, but all we have is a track from everything that we've seen. So like either one track from like, what do you mean you can't do that?
There's no MF Doom in there.
Well, hang on a minute. Hang on. This is the Heroes Reforged playlist. The Chexicans playlist is actually our music tastes.
Oh, I see.
But I'm saying
2 playlists.
The Heroes Reforged would be like, here's the theme from Willow, or one of the songs from the Willow show. Here's like the theme or one of the pieces of music, one of the 80s songs, one of the meaningful pieces of songs from The Last of Us. Here's the theme from the Book of Boba Fett. Here's the theme from The Mandalorian. You know, here's Everybody Walk the Dinosaur from 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie. Like that could be a fun little journey through memory lane.
Like 25 to 50 tracks.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
And then Chexicans is just all going to be Augustine.
It's just going to be my like list from Spotify.
That'll be fun.
If you want to see that, comment below. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Ethan Hammergast, thanks for what you guys do for us in the community. Glad to see you guys have been able to vacation a bit between the madness. With the casting for Creature Commandos just announced, are there any specific actors you would love to see play certain characters in the DCU moving forward? I want to see Brendan Fraser come back because he was doing Robot Man on Doom Patrol, and he was supposed to be Firefly in the Batgirl movie. I would love to see. Honestly, most of the actors who like won accolades this award season, like Ki Kwan, Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis, Brendan Fraser would be cool to see.
I think my number one is Ben Schwartz as Plastic Man.
Yeah, that you've been talking about that for a long time.
Yeah. That's my number one. That's a no-brainer one for me.
I would be a terrible casting agent because I just want Jack Black to be everything.
Yeah,
I just want him to be
Which DC character do you think he could play?
Mr. Mixel.
All of them.
Wait a minute, Mr. Mixia Spitlick. I think he'd be amazing.
He would be amazing at that.
Basically, an animated character in a live action thing. Also, oh man, I'm trying to think. No, it would be too much if he was like Granny Goodness or something. That would be too much, you know, because Ed Asner voiced Granny Goodness in some of the cartoons and stuff, and they
I just want to see a Jack Black superhero universe in which he plays a villain and the hero. So he plays Superman and he plays Darkseid.
Wild.
He does a little Eddie Murphy. It's not a serious thing.
Real talk. He was gonna be Green Lantern.
Oh, that's right. I remember
some like new character and like a new. But I'm like, if they cast him as Guy Gardner,
that would work.
Guy Gardner fans would probably be pissed because they're like, listen, Guy should also be fit and like young enough that he's kind. But I'm like, you know what?
Have you seen the diversity of the lanterns?
That's what I'm saying.
Like
he could be a Green Lantern.
He could be any lantern.
He could be Kilowog.
He could be Kilowog, but he could also be a Red Lantern, a villain. What's his name? Annihilus, or what was his name?
No, not Annihilus. Oh, I know who you're thinking of. Atrocitus?
Atrocitus, yeah.
Yeah, that
he would
be
a
cool.
badass villain. Like, I think he'd be really, with his crazy ass beard.
Yeah.
Like, I think he'd be really cool as a Red Lantern villain bad guy.
Honestly, Superman villain Toyman, he'd be perfect.
Oh,
that kind of character, it's like, oh, shit. That should be a Jack Black actor.
Music Man? You could be Music Man.
The Music Meister?
The Music Meister. There you go. That would be great for him.
Capture you with my tunes.
Exactly.
Superman.
It's just him doing Tenacious D songs.
Doom. Yeah.
That'd be freaking awesome.
Peaches. Lois. I love you. Yeah. That'd be great.
That'd be so good.
That would be. There you go. That's my pick.
There you go.
I guess I am a good casting agent.
Man, forget Jason Momoa Lobo. I want Jack Black, Music Meister.
Jack Black,
James
Music Meister,
Superman,
and Jack Black Lobo. Let's have Jack Black be Lobo at the same time.
Come on, bad stitches. Let's do this.
Oh my god. Last question from Alib the Blurdette. Hey homies, I love that you guys do this. I do hope you'll also do more live as time goes on as well. That was so fun.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun.
My question has to do with your previous and future work. You've mentioned working in VFX, but are there any other areas that you have worked in? Also, I'll be in Portugal on a scouting trip for most of May. I'm starting a vlog covering my relocation journey. Any advice for someone just starting out? I'm thinking of calling it A Pinch of Portugal, because I love to cook. Hector, the offer to help you is still there. LOL. Keep doing what you're doing. Love all the content. Oh, and I thought you'd get a kick out of this. I was watching one of the trailer reviews and my niece came over to ask me a question, took one look at my laptop and said, when did Ed, and Eddie do a live action show? LOL. I laughed for like a minute straight. Love you guys.
Yo.
Oh my God.
You know,
Oh my God.
That's pretty damn good.
There's been a
good.
prompt going around recently that was
That's
like
pretty damn
on
good.
Twitter that was like, "What's an insult you'll never forget?"
Yeah.
And people have been sharing some pretty good burns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some pretty good insults.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna forget that one.
Yeah, that's a really good
Which
one.
one of us is
That's a
Ed,
really-
and Eddie?
I have no
I have
idea.
no idea. No idea.
I just know of the show. I don't know.
I used
any of
to
their-
watch some of it.
their-
I don't remember it.
Your- their
I
personalities.
feel like I might be. No, you could be Double D. Double D had like a cool hat, but then like Ed with, it's Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie was like the short little scrappy guy.
I gotta
be
look
Eddie.
these
I might
because
be
I don't know
I
who's
feel
who.
like you might be Ed with one D because he was the tall one.
Okay.
You don't know who's who? Ed, and Eddie. Ed with one D went first, and I think that's you. Ed with two Ds went second, and they called him Double D. So it's EDD. And that might be me or Augustine.
EDD
and then
is
Eddie.
the orange shirt,
Yep.
kind of scrawny kid guy.
Eddie was the short little mastermind behind everything.
Yeah, hold on. Let
So,
me. Eddie was the short one.
yeah.
And then where's the other one?
Man, what a sick burn. Damn.
That was a good burn.
Fuck. Man.
And then the other Ed was the green jacket
Yeah. That's that.
guy.
Oh, you don't know what they look like either? Man. Did you all not watch Cartoon Network? Were you Nickelodeon
I was
kids?
too
Hector,
old.
I'm 36.
I was
So
too
what?
old when this cartoon came out.
No, I'm saying it's been so long since I've seen it.
Oh, I'm like, this cartoon was maybe like 1998, 9?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, I started high school
Too
in
old?
1998.
26 years
You
ago.
were watching Ed, and Eddie in high school?
No.
What were you doing? Getting laid? What were you doing? Partying?
No.
Okay, Charlie. Oh, okay. Oh, your friends. Oh, hanging out with your friends. Okay.
I had no friends in high school in the first year. When did it? Late 2000. I was deep in high school.
Late
so.
2000, not late 2000s.
I'm sorry, early 2000s.
Yeah, it was.
won
Maybe
awards.
like 01 or 02.
Yeah, no, I was already. This was past my prime.
Dang.
Yeah.
See, dude,
Dang.
I think that's.
Oops.
I
What
think
happened?
that's. I think
Just
that's me,
visually.
Augustine, and I think
Visually?
that's me, Augustine, and you.
Hector,
Yeah.
you and I are the same height.
Yeah, but I have a short energy. You have a tall. You have better hair. You have a tall energy.
My hair makes me look taller, but I'm only
so
5'6".
So you're Double D. You're in the middle.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'll take it.
And I'm-
Anyways,
What was the question?
yeah, the
Oh,
question.
hey, love the name for that blog, Portuguese blog.
Keep
love
it.
that.
A pinch
Keep
of
it.
Portugal.
And then the earlier part was like, also do more lives. Yep. Are there any?
Are there
other-
any other areas of production that we've worked in?
No.
No, it was all VFX for me.
Yeah.
Not on like Hollywood shoots, but I did produce and like co-direct some shorts.
Mm-hmm.
So I have
You
done
did,
other
yeah.
jobs on sets.
Yeah.
I've done,
I've done a little bit of some writing of some scripts of like this kind of bullshit that we do, the internet nerdy nerdist type of thing. I've done some stuff like
Nerdist,
that.
Yeah, I've done camera
You-
operating. Yeah.
You've also done VO work, booth work, voiceover.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
I did. Well, I was like a not an engineer, but just like I helped people audition.
Coordinator.
Yep, kind of.
You're a coordinator.
And then I also I recently ran into an actor who is on a TV show now that I really enjoy, and I was like, "Hey, I met you years ago when I worked at this acting agency. You were a client, and you were always really great. And I wanted to come over and say congrats on all the success." He was like, "Hey, man, yeah,
Did he
that's
remember
right.
you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he did, but he was very nice.
okay. That's
And
good.
it was great, and we
Yeah.
hit it off a little bit and hung out, and I was just like, "Yeah, man, I helped you do auditions in the booth and stuff." And anyway,
That's cool.
that
Was she
cool.
only asking about industry experience, or did she want to know about like other jobs?
Well, I mean, it was
in and out.
in and out. I did work.
Yeah.
I did technically work in exhibition because I worked at a movie theater.
Nice,
Okay,
nice.
okay.
That's a
Hector,
that's
Projectionist.
other industry work, Blockbuster.
Blockbuster Video.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Distribution.
Along with that's distribution.
Yeah.
That's home media.
Yeah.
Home
Yeah.
media. I
Yeah.
have a lot of customer service experience, so in and out for 6.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But then I worked for 2 years at a UPS call center.
Oh,
It's the worst job I ever had.
Oh,
I
that
was the
sucks,
person
man.
you would call when your package went missing.
That's a bummer.
God.
Bro, I was a punching bag.
Oh,
I had a dude
God.
threaten to crucify me.
oh my
I
god.
had people like threatening my family and my
That's-
well-being, and like it was
Jesus.
the
Listen,
worst
man.
job anybody could ever
I
have.
hate that for you. I'm
It's
so mad.
Horrible.
I'm so angry
I mean,
at that.
I had to do it. Like there was no
Yeah.
other jobs in the area.
No, I know, but I'm saying
so-
I'm mad that people would spend that energy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like, if you can't call a person and go, hey, I just need help. Can you help me? And on the other end, if the person goes, I'm going to try, man. I'm going to try to help you. I'm going to see what I can do. That's all I need.
Whew, good luck.
You know?
I had the worst call that I ever got.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. A person had passed away.
Oh.
They tried to ship their ashes through UPS
No.
to a funeral to get there on time to a funeral. It is illegal to do that.
Oh my God.
And they were on the phone. I could hear people crying in the background
At the funeral?
at the funeral.
Oh my, dude, that's out of a movie.
Talking to
That's
me,
out of a movie,
right?
dude.
Talking to me, and they were like, "So we shipped this person's ashes over here, and they were supposed to be here in time. We're at the funeral right now. We need the ashes. They're not here." And I'm like, "That's illegal. You can't ship human remains
no.
via any type of
Oh,
courier
no.
service. Like,
I'm so sorry.
how did all of this happen?
Yeah, who let you? Where did you go?
Yeah, where did you? Who
just
let you
drop
do
it
this?
in the mailbox?
Right. I don't know. No, there was no explainer because the supervisor. We had a little
You know
flag.
what?
We had a little flag. You raise your flag and you call your supervisor.
Really?
And I was like, I need a supervisor because I'm not taking this.
Fingers
This is
crossed,
crazy.
it was an elaborate prank. Fingers
it
crossed,
was
it was
not.
like, oh my
Because I checked in with the supervisor and they're like, yeah, I'm trying to find their package, and they had a tracking number. They had everything. Like
Jesus.
they legit sent it through the
If
through
you
the mail.
to ever mail my ashes anywhere, I will haunt you for the rest of your fucking life.
Here's another
No,
bad
dude,
one that I had.
I'll travel with them. I'll take them to Prague. Don't worry.
That's
There you
crazy.
go. Don't worry, baby.
Here's another bad one that I had. Around Christmas time, crazy time for UPS. Snowstorm, Midwest, historic. Everybody was snowed in.
Let me just preface this by saying California forever and goodbye. Continue
Yeah.
the story. Continue the story.
Upper Pacific Northwest. Everybody snowed in. Drivers could not drive on the road. Snowed in. Catastrophic snow apocalypse. Guy's on the phone. He's like, it's almost Christmas time. Where's my package? Why isn't the driver here? We're like, the drivers cannot physically drive on the road.
Yeah.
Everything's backed up. We apologize. Like, it's weather circumstances.
Mother Nature.
He's like, then you have to tell my daughter why Santa isn't coming this year. And he puts the phone up to his daughter's
Oh, what
face,
an
and she's
asshole.
crying.
What an
She is
asshole.
losing it, and I'm just like, I don't know what to say here. Like, I
What
literally
a-
cannot
what a
say
piece
anything.
of
Like,
work, that guy.
yeah.
What a coward.
Dude, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
dude. Yeah, don't ever. I mean, if you have to work a call service job, obviously work it.
Sure.
But at the same time, it is not for the faint of heart. It was.
Man, what would
Brutal.
I have said? What would I have
Brutal.
said? What would I have
Jeez.
said?
I don't know. What would you have said?
You would have fucking done Santa's voice.
Click.
No.
Click.
I
Just
mean,
hang up.
Maybe I would have.
That's all you can do
That's
sometimes.
so smart to do Santa's voice and go, I'm so sorry, little girl.
Your dad's
it's
an
me,
idiot."
Santa, but your dad's on the naughty list because he's yelling at the people here at this call. And,
Yeah.
and, I want you to be able to tell your daddy that Santa's very disappointed in him. You know, because then she has to be like, he said that Santa said he's disappointed in you. What's the dad going to contradict you? No, he's not Santa. Well, you know, yes, I am. Yes, I am, Santa.
Obviously, ho ho ho.
Put your dad on the line. Hey, motherfucker, do you lie to your kid and talk about Santa? Well, guess what? So do I.
Guess what? Me too. I'm Santa.
And so now I'm Santa. Look at me.
Look at me.
I'm Santa now. I'm Santa now, bitch.
I'm the Claus now.
Put Sally back on the phone.
Put little Sally back
Oh, now
on the
you're going to
phone.
deny her talking to Santa? Kind
The only thing that's going to make her feel better.
What kind of
my
father are you?
God.
I'll explain it because obviously you can't parent, you stupid bitch. Give me the phone. I'll talk to Sally and I'll make her feel okay about this.
See, you can't say
Idiot.
any of that. So I forgot what
Let me
I
talk
did
to
about
your supervisor.
that. I don't know.
My supervisor's Mrs. Claus, motherfucker. You put Sally back on the phone.
My supervisor is Jesus Christ.
If you're too, Jesus
Don't
Christ,
make me go get Rudolph on your ass.
the reason for the
for
season.
the season.
So if you're too scared to let your daughter talk to Santa, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone right now. You explained to her. Honey,
Why Santa didn't
honey,
come
that
this year.
wasn't Santa. What? Is there
I'm
no
just
Santa?
dumb. That's what he said.
Oh my God.
Anyways, yeah. So I have a lot of customer service experience.
Jesus Lord. That's
Which is why I
brutal.
love working all the jobs that I have worked after that, because they weren't that. So
My
Yeah.
goodness.
it's good.
Jeez.
Gee. All right. That's it.
That's it.
We completed it.
We completed
Another
the mission.
successful
we completed
episode.
The mission.
We're cooking up something, hopefully, for the next episode.
Literally.
Hopefully you guys like it. We are trying to think outside of the box.
Think outside the bun.
Yeah, think outside the bun.
I'm just gonna order some T-Bell. Tell everybody I cooked it. You guys like it? I call it
You
a
like what
I call it a chalupa.
I call it a crunchy wrap supreme.
I call it a 5-layer burrito. 5-layer burrito.
I call it a
Gordita.
double
Oh my
decker
God.
with
Oh my
nacho
God.
cheese. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah,
We're going to continue watching a ton of shit.
Yeah, we're gonna keep watching movies and review them here.
All kinds of stuff.
What else are we? Gonna do?
Patreon's going to be Patreoning all the time.
Yeah.
So check that out.
Adam's gonna rest.
Yeah, Adam's gonna sleep a little bit. He's gonna have weekends off, and
California forever and goodbye.
Heroes Reforged forever and goodbye.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, do all that cool stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next
Bye.
episode. Bye.
Peace.